Have you ever thought about who you are? Not just your name, job, or personality, but who you really are at the core. Now here's the mind-blowing part. What if I told you that your identity is built by tiny, seemingly insignificant habits? And just as your habits shape your identity shapes the habits you stick to. The small things you do every day are creating a feedback loop that either pulls you toward who you want to become or keeps you stuck in who you've always been. Today, we're going to dive into how this dynamic works and how you can flip the script to become exactly who you aspire to be. Most people try to change their lives by setting outcome-based goals. I want to lose weight. I want to earn more money. I want to be more productive. But here's the thing. Outcomes are just a result of the systems we create. Real change doesn't start with the goal. It starts with who you believe you are. Instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, say, I am someone who takes care of my body. This shift from outcome to identity is where transformation happens, because when you believe something about yourself, you naturally act in ways that align with that belief. Every time you act in line with a new identity, it's like casting a vote. Think about it. If you go for a short run today, that's a vote for becoming someone who is fit. If you read just one page of a book, that's a vote for becoming someone who values learning. You don't have to overhaul your entire life in one day. You just need to accumulate small votes over time. And the beauty of this approach? You don't need a perfect streak. A few missed days won't change the outcome because it's the trend that matters, not perfection. But here's where the loop gets even more interesting. Your identity reinforces your habits. If you see yourself as someone who's always been bad with money, your actions will align with that belief. Maybe you splurge unnecessarily or avoid budgeting because, well, that's just who I am. But the reverse is also true. If you decide you're becoming someone who's financially responsible, even one small action like tracking your expenses for a week becomes a powerful shift. It's not about waiting for proof. It's about deciding who you want to become and casting votes in that direction, day by day. Let's talk about building momentum with small wins. If you try to make massive changes overnight, it's like trying to lift weights far beyond your capacity. You'll burn out quickly. But if you start small with habits so easy they feel almost silly, you build confidence. It might be something as simple as drinking a glass of water every morning to cast a vote for becoming someone who prioritizes health. As you rack up these small wins, your brain starts believing, hey, I'm actually the kind of person who takes care of myself. That belief grows stronger with every action. Now, here's a tip to make these habits stick: habit stacking. Link your new habit with something you already do regularly. If you want to start journaling, tell yourself, after I make my coffee, I'll write in my journal for 2 minutes. The existing habit acts as a cue for the new one, making it easier to build momentum. And once you start, it becomes easier to continue because now you're acting in alignment with your chosen identity. What happens when things don't go as planned? Maybe you miss a workout, skip journaling, or splurge on something you didn't budget for. Here's the good news. Missing once isn't a failure. It's part of the process. The key is to never miss twice. If you slip up, just get back on track the next day. The goal isn't to be flawless. It's to be consistent enough to let your identity take root. Every time you bounce back from a setback, you cast another vote for becoming the resilient, intentional person you want to be. Here's another trick. Reframe how you view failure. When you miss a habit or make a mistake, it's not a sign that you're failing. It's feedback. Maybe your plan was too ambitious, or the habit didn't fit naturally into your routine. Instead of giving up, adjust the system and try again. Think of it like tweaking a recipe. Small adjustments lead to better results over time. And the best part? Once your habits align with your identity, you won't need to rely on motivation. When you believe, I'm a reader, you naturally read without needing reminders or willpower. When you see yourself as someone who stays active, working out becomes part of your routine, not a chore. At that point, your actions reflect who you are, not just what you want to achieve. But it's not just about positive habits. Negative identities work the same way. If you identify as someone who procrastinates, every time you put off a task, you reinforce that belief. The key to breaking out of negative loops is to start small. Cast just one vote in the opposite direction. Complete one task on time, no matter how small. Each new vote chips away at the old identity and makes room for the new one. So, to recap, real change starts by focusing on identity, not just outcomes. Every habit is a vote for the person you want to become. Start small, stack your habits, and be consistent enough to build momentum. And when things go off track, don't give up. Adjust and keep moving forward. Your identity isn't fixed. It's shaped by the actions you take every day. Transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual shift that starts with the smallest actions, one vote at a time. And the best part? You get to choose who you want to become. If this video gave you new insights, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who's working on building better habits. Stay intentional, stay consistent, and I'll catch you in the next one.